Yo, welcome back. Return of the Mac, M.A.C, Moss, Andrew, Carl, episode 206.
Shit.
Everybody back in the building. What's happening?
Yeah. What's up, man? What's up?
Yep. Took a hiatus.
We did. We missed a week.
Did.
Sorry
no,
about
it's just
that.
gonna be me, y'all. Just happened to be everybody.
I mean, things just feel that way.
Yeah, Moss is supposed to be out of town, so we expected to do a 2-person pod. I bailed out for personal reasons that day. Yeah. Moss says, yo, I'm coming back early. Who's ready to pod?
Yeah, I was coming back early.
It was going to touch down the pod.
I was ready, bro.
He was set up ready. The pod shit before you unpack.
Look, nobody can question Moss's tenacity to pod.
I'll be ready, yeah.
My man is ready.
Ready to pod.
I respect it. We appreciate you.
We got to get your immune system together, bro. You be
be
going down bad, bro.
This is a mental immune system. I don't know what we got for a fix on that one. We've been looking for 15 years at this point, but
I got you.
We're here.
We are.
Doing better. What's good?
Back at it.
A lot of good things going on, man.
Oh, yeah?
A lot of great things. There's some challenges, too. But, fuck that shit. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I feel like you just dressed a whole bunch of shit. We don't know what the fuck you talking about right now. What's on your mind? What's going on? You all right?
Talk to us. Here we had a pod.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of great stuff going on. It was a fucking busy ass week at work, so that type of shit is like fuck that shit type shit.
Yeah.
But Carter turned the big 3. I mean, think back to it seemed like a long time ago now, or really just yesterday at the same time when we was doing the pod and he was born and shit.
I feel like it feels mad
Mr. Carter and shit.
Yeah, it does not feel long at all. 3 is crazy.
Yeah. We did his birthday at Chuck E. Cheese. That was cool. Really won a lot of kids. It was just a few kids, so we got to play a lot. It's like unlimited game card play or whatever for like the 2 hours. I mean, I was fucking it up on the basketball game for sure. You already know, collected hella tickets.
Broke the backboard, all them bricks you was throwing.
No, bro,
shut the game down.
One thing I could do is shoot a ball. That is everybody.
From 3 feet away on a 5-foot basket.
No, a fucking 3-pointer. Everybody knows. That shit is going in.
Everybody knows.
I mean, it's probably, I would say I'm probably a 40% shooter from deep, but,
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
What do you mean?
Why would you say that? I would say, you did your percentages?
That was 2018.
Keep your stat line for you.
I'm just saying, I'm a good shooter from beyond the arc. But anyway, I definitely, I set the high score on that motherfucker. So, whatever you
beat
want
all the 7-year-olds.
Yeah. I mean, fuck it. The competition is what the competition is.
I did that.
I executed. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
I did that at the skate spot. I forget what's it called again.
Fun Quest.
Fun Quest. Yeah, that's all I played.
That's so fun.
My brother-in-law would be like, "The kids need tickets. Yo, can you go play basketball?" I'm like, "Yo, I got you.
I
Can't let these kids waste these tokens. They're not getting no tickets.
Not on this game.
Nah.
Now Carter, they had a little kid one. He's getting used to like shooting the ball from distance. So he made a couple actually that was like really good shots.
Yeah.
But the other ones are just like
launching that
straight in the air and floating. Yeah. He's getting that part down on the mechanics and stuff. But the birthday was cool. Good experience there. I got him a little tennis racket to start playing. So hopefully we'll get him on the court soon. I had him hitting just like a little bit yesterday, just like kind of hitting the ball, not over the net or anything like that.
Tennis.
Yeah. Lily's been playing for like the past few months or whatever. And I gotta say, man, I had my doubts about it at first, but I'm not too bad at this coaching thing. It looks good right now. It looks good. I'm not gonna lie. So we're gonna keep working.
That's what's up. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah, I had my today I'm talking about the challenges. I had one of my running boards on the way from Chuck E. Cheese. We were getting gas. Shannon's dad was getting back in the car, and the running board is like the stepping rail to get into the truck or whatever.
Okay.
It was this big ass loud metal bang I heard. Like I'm pumping gas and shit. I heard Shannon's dad getting back in the car. That's all I know. I heard this big ass loud metal bang and like scraping of metal and shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that? I thought it was the car next to me. So I'm looking over at the other pumps and shit. I'm like, fucking cars over here. Then I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. Then I keep hearing this metal scraping and shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Next thing I know, Shannon's dad just picking up my whole fucking running board. The shit just fucking fell off the truck in one piece. I guess when he was stepping in to get into the truck. So I've had a time today trying to find somebody to fix that. Nobody's looking to take that on. I didn't think it was going to be that big of an issue. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
That sucks.
Tucked up.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I mean, I'll just take the other one off and say fuck it and just jump up in that motherfucker. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I hate car stuff, son. I don't know nothing about how to get it fixed. I don't know what it's supposed to cause.
This one is like, it rusted out. So I technically would need somebody to weld the motherfucker back in there. And everybody just fucking bitches. That's how I feel. You fucking bitch, you won't help me out. That's okay. I'll call somebody else.
So you got to Google how to weld.
Yeah, you got to find a welder. Some shops got some welders. They
do, but it's like mostly collision shops, and they so busy with like collision work, they don't want to take those type of things on.
Yeah, a little bullshit.
We can do it, but and then one place that they don't do anything with rust. It's like, it's a fucking car, motherfucker. Like, they rust sometimes. What you mean you don't do nothing with it? Like, you cut the shit out and slap a new piece of metal on that
liability,
shit.
That rust can be bad.
Yeah, but it's not even a lot, though. It's like literally just where the holes were. This shit, that's the only part. It's not like the whole fucking...
They don't know that, though. They hear rust. They like, he about to bring in some bullshit.
No, the motherfuckers took pictures and everything.
Oh, did they?
We'll do anything with it. Oh, fuck you, bitch. I'll leave. But you know what I said? I didn't say that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you looking at
I appreciate your time, man.
That's exactly what I said. I think I said appreciate your time.
Feel free to give me a call if you change your mind. Because I have nobody.
I was really on some shit like, you know what? Fuck you, bitch. This simple ass shit. Now I got this shit riding on the back of my fucking truck instead of on the passenger side like it's supposed to be. I feel like I'm sorry. I feel like I just look like an idiot.
I thought you had a soundbite for it.
It is what it is. I was like, is that me? Why am I hearing myself?
Good shit, though.
But that's it. That's it for me.
Good. That's plenty going on.
Definitely.
What about you, Mos?
Shit, I just got back from it's been a week now. Got back from the beach. Nice little vacation, couple nights with my homeboys and his kids and family and shit.
You get in the water?
Yeah.
You go swimming?
Go swimming?
Yeah.
I would say I went swimming.
You don't go swimming?
I got in the water, though.
Oh, okay.
No, I ain't going that deep to where I'm like actually
how deep
swim
do you
mode.
go in the water?
I don't know. Like enough to like above my waist. I'm not going up to my neck. I'm not going up to my neck in the ocean. I'm good on that.
I go about mid chest
is like, so then the wave can come in and it's still not splashing you in the face and stuff.
Because you at your neck, that wave gonna get your ass. You going under.
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
going under.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with that.
No, I'm not.
I have no interest in swimming in there.
Yeah, I'm not going.
You can't really swim in the ocean.
The ocean sucks.
Let's
be honest. The ocean sucks. It's nice to be able to just go. You're at the beach. I'll go out till usually. Honestly, I said the mid chest because I think that's like a good stopping point. But usually I'm like going out to my waist and standing out in the water for a few minutes, and then I'm going back out of the water. I'm good. Yeah. Fucking around with waves. A little bit. Yeah. But the pool is 1,000 times better.
I don't disagree. I do love the beach though. I like when I go. I like to stay out there for a while.
I hate the sand.
I ain't gonna lie.
I hate the hot ass sand.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, it's like somebody got to do something about this shit. You hate the hot ass hot. You got to make it. This is a burn somebody. You get a 3rd-degree burn fucking around with that hot ass sand.
Seriously,
you get that. Make sure you got some beach shoes.
Like that sand is like away from the water and shit. Like that should be hot as fuck.
Yeah, you damn right.
In Guatemala, it's black sand beach. Even hotter.
Oh, shit.
That shit will burn your feet.
Yeah,
for sure.
That sounds pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like
catching all the heat.
I didn't know the kids were like, "Oh, my feet are hot." I'm like, "Oh, hurry up, run!" And I'm like, "Oh shit, it's really that hot like that." I had to drop everything I had.
Yeah.
I had to drop all my shit.
Yeah, like, they're not making it all the way to the water before this is cool.
Come on, everybody needs shoes on.
Make
Stop
sure
where you at.
Hey, some flops or some beach shoes, for sure, for that walk.
Yeah, it's crucial. It's crucial. You wear shoes on the beach. There's a lot of motherfuckers wear tennis shoes on the beach.
I'm flip-flop,
for sure. People be walking and shit on the beach.
I don't get how you can wear tennis shoes on the beach, though.
I don't either.
I mean, if you
that should be a violation. I think
not
it
allowed.
That should be a violation.
It should be like drinking in public or
the
something.
beach is really disgusting when you really think about it.
Oh, it is for sure.
It's disgusting. You're walking in a bunch of trash. You don't know what's in that fucking sand.
I mean,
Same for
most
the
of
water.
that stuff that's in the sand is mostly broken down and shit, I guess.
Yeah, but it's still trash though. You know it is. Like, what else could it be?
What do you mean? Like sand is trash?
No, there's trash in the sand.
Yeah, tons of
Like, it's literally like,
Yeah, I mean, if you dig up shit enough, yeah, I guess. But normally, it depends on what beach you go. There's some nice beaches, though. That's
Sure.
not like that are well
Myrtle
kept
Beach
and stuff like that.
got trash on it. Myrtle Beach for sure. has
North Myrtle
trash on
Beach is
it.
better though. It's
That's where
cleaner.
we stayed. We was there. It was better. It was better for sure.
Yeah, less,
but it's
less,
still
niggery.
You know,
Going on.
less niggery. Yeah,
That was
you're away
calm.
from the action a little bit, a little ways away.
Yeah.
I like it up that side, the north side.
That's where I go normally. That's where I stay.
Yeah, it's quieter.
But I mean, it's like, like I said, nice beaches, other places that are well kept and stuff
sure.
like that. Like
For
especially the more private beaches and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. But
But,
the public beaches,
Oh, for
shit
sure.
gonna
You
be
know
out
what time
there.
it is.
Shit gonna be out there.
It's never like the movies. Like the movies, it's always like just them on the beach and shit chilling.
Yeah, like nobody else is around.
Nobody else is out there and stuff. They got
You
their
side by side.
You
Bitch,
side by
lined
side
up
with a
with motherfuckers,
motherfucker
yeah.
miles long. You're like, oh shit, this beach long as a motherfucker for real. It's miles long. Everybody side by side, and you end up talking to some strangers and shit, which I don't mind. It is what it is, but
Yeah.
it's not the seclusion that you might be sold on TV.
Yeah.
Kind of, but not really though. Cause like you be out there, but everybody like be minding their business.
I like that.
To like, you know what I'm saying? You can be right beside somebody,
For the
but you ain't
most
gotta
part.
talk to them. Like,
For the most part, but
You
I got
chilling.
kids and shit. Everybody,
Yeah,
think
when the
Carter's
kids
cutest
change the
motherfucker
shit
in the
up.
world.
The kids
So
change shit
it's
up.
like, the last time we went, this older lady was spent 15 minutes telling me about how blessed I was to have such beautiful children, and I'm just like, yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you. And, I don't know what to say
right.
other than that.
It should be a quick
and
conversation.
Just kind of talk them up a little bit, about them and stuff like that. But she just kept saying, "You're a blessed man. You're a blessed man." It's an old white woman.
You're blessed.
Like, I don't know what you're trying to get at.
Anything else I could do for you?
Yeah. I don't know what you're trying to get at. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time, man. Needed that refreshment.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, a little vacation sounds beautiful.
Damn right. Damn right.
Yep, and we'll need it, especially before the football season start. We'll need that kind of serenity that you can reflect upon.
Why you say that? What you mean? What you getting at?
Naps.
What you getting at?
I'm just saying.
We'll get into sports later.
Yeah, I was
getting
throwing
sports
it
later.
in there.
Since we've been going for 2 weeks, plenty of topics, lots of stuff going on. We will get to NFL coming right around the corner.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to talk about, so I wasn't just skipping that, but I am skipping that. So let's get to it. The big news 2 weeks ago,
2 weeks.
Tory Lanez.
Seems like forever now.
It does feel like forever. It feels like we've been talking about Tory Lanez for years now, but
Well,
we've
that's
come
true.
to
We
an
have,
end.
though.
This is true.
This
At
is
least
true.
has been at least like 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 2.5. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time ago.
Well, it is pretty much done at this point.
Finally got sentenced.
Guilty verdict was already out. We got the sentence of 10 years. Is that
10.
right?
10. Was looking at 22 or something like that.
Honestly, I
getting
haven't
10.
paid a ton of attention once it got into
something like
sentencing
double
stuff.
that. He got like half of what he was supposed to get.
Gotcha.
What he was charged to get.
And I hear it's expected to be much less actual time. I think he got credit for all the time that he's been in right now.
Yeah, it's like a little under a year or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you only got to do a certain percentage of your time
Yeah.
on good behavior and
Yeah.
shit like that. You don't do all of that
They
time.
do at
but-
least 3 to 4.
That's what I had seen.
Wow.
Seen
Yeah, I mean,
seen
you
stuff
gonna have to
talking
sit
about
down
that.
for
Still
a
a little wild. Like, but
Yeah,
you know,
Way
so it's
more
like
than
3 to 4.
I'm looking to do.
For real.
3 to 4 hours sound too long to me.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You know,
Like, I'm sober already. I can go home. Like,
I've learned my lesson. I'm ready to go.
I mean, I just thinking like the reality of that some motherfuckers have, and this wasn't Tory's case necessarily, but when you get inside of a cop car and realize that you ain't coming home for a while, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's got to be a sobering feeling.
it's got to be the worst
yeah.
feeling in the world. You be like,
Yeah.
oh, this is the last time I'm actually gonna be able to contact my family, and
Right.
like on my own, like time and you know, or just be free to the world. Like that realization has to be like, I don't know,
in the
crazy
state and country you're not from. Like you got to start that shit in California.
Oh, yeah,
he's
for him,
Canadian.
yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, how does that work though? Because I guess they don't send them. Because at first they were saying that they were going to send them home. What do they call it?
Extradite.
Yeah, deported or something like that. Well, he got to serve his time in California. That's what the crime was. So he has to serve his time there. Then they'll probably deport him.
Then he'll be deported. Yeah. Probably won't be welcomed back in the U.S., I would imagine, after he gets out.
Yeah.
At least for a while.
It was like,
I don't know exactly how that works, but I would imagine.
Shit.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So he'll probably get deported after he do his time. But he got to serve that in California for sure. Can't do that anywhere else.
That's crazy, man. Hey, I mean, what else can you say about it? It is what it is.
I've seen a lot.
Do you have any thoughts?
It was a lot of outrage. I feel like I was seeing a lot of outrage from people when people thought that was a little egregious. It was kind of killing Meg a little bit. I was like, do y'all think he won't go get no time? Like, he was found guilty.
Yeah.
He won't about to get
right.
He was like, what was y'all expecting to happen? Like, I know 10, it sounds like a long time, but it's still like, dog, like that's what the charges, the penalty of those charges that he got found guilty of. I ain't seen nothing short of that. I mean, I think he got off because like you said, he was looking at like 22. So he kind of got the best end of the situation to cut that shit in half, basically. But
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think the way the laws work and shit and what's deemed to be like more punishable than the other thing, like I don't understand that necessarily because you look at somebody like Henry Ruggs, and I get it wasn't intentional, but you could say the same thing about the Tory Lanez case, especially since they didn't have any hardcore evidence. Like this dude actually killed somebody and
got 10.
I thought it was less time than that.
3 to 10. 3 to 10 is the sentence that Ruggs got.
3 to 10. Okay.
It's funny you brought that up because I thought it was funny. One of the things I saw when Ruggs got his sentence handed down. Did you see who had something to say about that?
No.
OJ.
Yeah.
OJ said the math just does not add up. Said Simpson, who spent 9 years behind bars after he tried to steal sports memorabilia from a Las Vegas hotel room. I know when I went to college, I went to college on a full scholarship, but somehow the math is not adding up to me. I don't know what else he said beyond that, but just funny to hear from OJ talking about somebody getting got off.
Shit like that,
always something legal. He's a legal expert at this point.
I've been through it.
Yeah, I would think he would just be quiet at this point. But it is wild to think about somebody getting shot in the foot, whether it's accidental or whether it was intentional, heat of the moment, or regardless of whatever the facts were, somebody getting shot in the foot and then somebody killing somebody while drunk driving would be equal or less time. It does seem wild.
Yeah, and I mean, that's when you look at the judicial system and it's like, yo, this is all screwed up. But I mean, at the same time, it is what it is. To avoid it, you don't commit these kind of crimes. But it just seems like, for something that was like a chaotic type of night, it seems like something accidental. But again, nobody knows exactly what happens.
Yeah, we'll never know.
Yeah, I mean,
never know the real story.
At this point. Well, I mean, it's like, damn, what was the camera phones at? We gotta get some
while they was doing that.
Oh, for Tory.
Yeah. It's like normally somebody is filming some kind of action. But
I didn't see a lot of the backlash towards Meg that you were talking about, but I did see, of course, a lot of people just saying it was unfair. He should be free and all this kind of stuff. And I don't agree. He was found guilty, so it is what it is. I really don't care what he got after that. But the fact that I think his actions from the moment it happened up until the guilty verdict is what really fucked up himself when it comes to sentencing. Yeah. So when it comes to the sentence and there is some leniency or ability for the judge to determine where within this amount of time it could be this many years to this many years, how hard do we want to enforce that penalty? It's going to be very different from somebody that has, that's quiet or even is apologetic towards what they did or something. Sure. He did everything he could for months and months and months to honestly humiliate Meg. Like he was making a joke about it in a sense. It almost felt like, and went so hard that once it was guilty and he starts doing the, that's not the person I am. I deserve leniency in this.
be on his side a little, I guess you could say a little bit. He was acting like he was not guilty. He was moving around like he didn't do this shit.
But he's just saying like, hey,
but there's two different ways to be not guilty.
Yeah,
you can be not guilty and stand on the truth if that's what it is.
Yeah,
and then being loud and bringing attention to yourself. To me, I think he got caught up in the fact that if I fight back the way I did, I gain public support, which he did.
Yeah.
I was one that was like, it doesn't add up. I think he's innocent. And it helped his public perception for a pretty long time. Now that the guilty verdict comes up, like his career is over with.
He's real apologetic after that.
So now I think he valued the wrong thing in that case. Was trying to hold on to both, where it would have been better just to keep your mouth shut. And if you lose fans, you lose fans, but you don't lose time in prison as much, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True that.
Anything else on Ruggs and Tory?
I really?
No.
That's all I got.
Any other legal stuff we want to knock out here?
Any other legal stuff?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. No new Young Thug updates. I don't think.
No.
I haven't seen any
sacrifices going on.
Right.
Yeah.
So music it is?
Yeah, we can roll on into it.
Let's do it.
Do you want to do new music stuff or the TDE Reason thing first?
You can do the Reason thing.
Do you know much about this? You might have more information than I do. I wasn't paying super close attention.
I've seen him do a few interviews and shit since then too. He went on, I forgot the dude's name. The dudes that used to be with
Adam 22.
With Adam and them,
yeah,
the guys, AD and one AD was the other dude, Terrell, something like that. It was on his podcast or live stream shit he does. Reason went up there, he was talking, and then Musa, who was Top Dog's son, who is like the CEO or somebody under Top Dog over at TD or something, called
He's the
in.
president, I believe.
And, basically started like, putting on, well, he was on Reason's ass, basically the whole, like when he called in, he was like, yeah, I've been seeing these interviews you got. I had seen the interview the Reason that did with Joe Budden, it's probably been like a month ago now. But he was basically just talking about the inner workings of TDE and how they like be holding them back from letting them release shit when he want to and this type of thing, which is what we see with a lot of the TDE artists. They don't be letting them drop as often as people would like them to drop. So he was talking about that, and so Musa called up there. He was on his ass like, yeah, asked all them, y'all, because they like all like, they could all fuck with TDE, like who Rail and all them that was up there, they fuck with TDE or something. He was like, all your partners up there with you on, tell them to name 10 Reason songs right now or some shit. Of course, they couldn't do it because nobody knows 10 Reason songs right now. And so they kind of laughed it all. He was like, for real, like when we first signed him, K-Dot, they was calling him a substitute teacher. He like a substitute teacher for K-Dot when K-Dot was leaving. He was like, he ain't really like that. He was basically shitting on him. I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. He was going crazy on him right there. Yeah, he was going hard. I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy to do artists like that. But, and Reason was real.
And he's still
cool
signed. They still signed to him?
Yeah, he's still signed. He just dropped the album last week or the week before last.
Yeah,
he dropped his album
2 Fridays back.
So a lot of people are saying like, oh, this is another TDE rollout because they did this with SZA and Isaiah Rashad and the different Absol, different artists that they got. It'd be some type of beef that come on the internet and then they end up dropping the album. But it wasn't a rollout. The way it went, like, there wasn't no rollout at all. They was really getting at him like for no reason. Well, not for no reason, but because he been doing interviews talking about his situation and they ain't like that shit. I thought it was kind of wild to blast Reason like that, but Reason was cool about it. Like
he's been really, super chill about it and not responding.
It was like in his face, though, like he was on the call while
he was on live stream at the same time.
So he was listening to him talk about that.
They was talking to each other.
And forth?
Yeah, they was talking to each other. Yeah.
I didn't see the video, so I don't know exactly how that part played out. I only knew that happened. And then I saw him on Rory and Maul talking about nobody showed up. Nobody from TDE was at the listening event for the album drop-in.
Yeah. He said they talked about it. And they kind of like squash shit, but on some shit like they have like fights like this all the time. It's usually just not public. It usually be like in the house fights or whatever. But he's like, this time just need to fly pass by a little bit. Everybody need to cool off, and then we'll reconnect and everything good. But he's still with the label. He dropped the album. The album is fire. I fuck with that shit. But it's just some shit that got off on the public stream.
Yeah.
So it blew up. People was on TDE about to break up and all that shit. It's like, dog, like. these cats been together for a little minute now. I think they're gonna be all right. So I don't know. Not too crazy. What you think about it?
I mean, I think it just looks whack as fuck for the heads of TDE.
Yeah.
I think it looks terrible. I think they look stupid to like fans and people that are fans. I think they look stupid to fans of TDE. Yeah. And then from like, it's the same conversation that we've had about ownership within sports. Like you treat players a certain way in public, other players see that.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that's going to play a role in people that want to sign to TDE in the future, or it could. It may blow over and you forget about it. Yeah. And Reason's not the biggest name over there, so it may not be a huge thing.
Yeah.
But I started looking into a little bit more of like TDE history today. And I got two questions or theories to put out here. Is there any possibility that TDE is extremely overrated as a label and they rode the backs of Kendrick to where they are now? I mean, I want to lay that out as the general question. At the same time, like I do think that they've produced a lot of very talented artists and artists that are more on the side of like artistic, creative types that are not super mainstream type of artists anyway. But if you think about it, like Kendrick is the guy, and off the back of him blowing up, they attached Schoolboy, J-Rock, and Ab-Soul.
Yeah.
And all three of them had a pretty good run right at that time of introduction. They also fit super well into what was going on with hip hop at that time, like 2010s, the A$AP Rockies, Mac Millers, and all that type of shit. So they fit the criteria at that point. All three of those secondary artists haven't done much music over the past 10 years since then.
Yeah, they don't drop a lot.
SZA comes along and blows, obviously a second huge artist that they have.
Yeah, she's huge.
But a lot of the other names since then also haven't done much as far as like notoriety ways. And overall, there's been a lot of TDE artists that have voiced their frustration with the label over and over and over. This is not a one-time reason situation.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to feel like they had kind of rode the backs of Kendrick to get where they are. And maybe they're not as great of a label as we originally thought. And let me just add a second point before you respond to that. Second part of it is Musa, the son.
The top dog.
He took over about 2019. And that's also the same time when one of the other top dudes over there, I think his name was Dave Free, went with Kendrick to do that LP Lang, and they left TDE.
PL Lang, yep.
So to me, that also could play into it. Maybe it's not that TDE rolled everything that I said at first.
Yeah.
Maybe it's once there was a change in leadership and the son took over, heavy is the head that wears the crown, and he's not wearing it as well.
Right.
Two theories I can
can see that. Watching Reason's interview with Rory and Mal he did recently, he kind of talked about that. Top Dog is an independent record label. So there's certain artists that are independent with Top Dog as under, and they're signed to a major as well. Kendrick, SZA, Schoolboy Q.
Schoolboy, J-Rock.
They're signed to major labels and Top Dog. Artists like Isaiah Rashad, Ab-Soul, Reason, Ray Sean, or whatever his new artist they signed, they're all signed to Top Dog independently.
Gotcha.
So, of course, they're going to be a different back end to their music than a SZA and a Kendrick and a Schoolboy Q, which, when they come out, it's up.
Right.
So that's the difference, I think, that you see in some of the artists that have these big records, big hit records and smash albums than the other artists that are just signing them independently. So I think that's just the real difference between that.
Okay.
And Reason is one of the guys that's just signing them independently. He's not signed to a major at all. So, of course, he doesn't have familiar songs as a Kendrick or a Schoolboy Q has. So I don't think that they riding off the backs of Kendrick. When they started, J-Rock was the lead guy.
Yeah.
Kendrick kind of blew up like on his own, bubbled on his own. Yeah, J-Rock was the first one they was trying to put out first. Then Kendrick started doing his mixtapes, and then he ended up, getting all his fans, and he blew up before he did. So I don't think they riding the back of Kendrick, but of course, when your big fish leaves, it's going to look different to the whole label. Yeah. It's like if Drake leave Cash Money looks a lot different now. But it's like, I don't think they riding from what you say, I don't think they riding the coattails of Kendrick per se. They just an independent label. So if you're not signed to a major along with them, you're not going to get the big look that the other artists would.
That makes sense.
So I don't think it's that serious. But
it would be natural for you to put your resources into your bigger artists.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
exactly
how it's dispersed, with everything. He's making the most money. He's bringing it in. So, of course, we're going to spend the most on him. So
Yep.
Just how it works. But, you got to generate a kind of buzz to get the deal you want from a major, too, So it's all a combination of those type of things.
Yeah.
I think from a fan perspective, it would there's just like there's a little bit of there's like a tier or like a, I can't think of what's the word I'm looking for. It's like we have them like in a special tier of like TDE.
Yeah.
And
Kendrick.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
That's
Kendrick. I think if Kendrick was never a part of TDE, you would just look at them as like they're a small label that has some talented artists that won't be big.
Yeah,
like I love Schoolboy Q. I was a pretty big J-Rock fan as he got.
I would say he's like
more into
between him and SZA would probably be SZA and then it would be Schoolboy.
Yeah,
as
I
far
think
as
so
like
too.
The levels of theirs.
They have a talented roster. I don't know. I just kind of
as a label,
for the first time I thought about it.
All you need is one or two guys, really.
Yeah.
As a label, really, if you got one, that you're a successful label.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works. If you look over like the course of time, you don't really see, labels that
Cash
have
Money. Everybody have the two biggest artists in the rap.
But even
having Nicki and Drake at the same time, that don't
time,
happen
though,
often.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, Cash Money itself was big, but each of those, I guess Juvenile was the one who kind of broke out at
Juvenile
first,
was the first.
and then it was passed along to Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, BG and Wayne,
yeah, but Wayne really is the one that took Cash Money off to another level, and then Young Money and stuff like that. It's always on the back of like one artist mostly, and then Wayne found Drake and Nicki Minaj and stuff like that. But,
I think it's kind of interesting how much you could ride the wave of somebody big popping though. Because like if you think about take Cash Money, I think TDE just fit with some of those other names that I mentioned.
Cash Money might be a good comparison because you know,
and that's back
in the day too. Baby.
No, but
people don't really know who Top Dog is. Like if you used to walk in the room, you probably wouldn't know who the fuck Top Dog was.
Right. No,
so it's like
no idea.
It's a different type of cosign. You know what I'm saying? Like
Cash Money's not an independent label, right?
They've always been connected to Universal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I just was thinking about like once somebody pops and they become known as like a part of that label because of how crazy Wayne was specifically when Cash Money or when Young Money was popping.
Yeah.
You got people checking out Lil Twists, and I'm going blank on all the other names, but like all these extra roster.
When 50 Cent was popping and he was signed to
you got Marshall, people listening to Yayo.
What was Shady Records? You know nobody else really on Shady Records besides D12. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't, but it's not like D12 was, but it's not like they were selling a bunch of records. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just talking about like the smaller artists catch a really big residual fan effect.
Oh, for sure.
Just because it's like, oh, Cash Money, I'll check out who's the next artist they got.
Gina is a good one. All of them had platinum albums.
Yeah, right.
All of Gina had at least one platinum album.
It's not saying that they weren't good artists, but we was there for 50.
Yeah, but exactly.
Yeah,
if 50 never popped, I would never have listened to Tony Yayo.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But once 50 pops, it's like, yo.
Yeah.
I'll check out that song.
They might have had a chance, but
Tony had some joints though.
I ain't saying he was some joints. He was clearly the worst rapper out of the group, though. Yayo the worst rapper out the group.
I guess.
Yeah,
probably.
I'd say clearly. I'd say clearly.
But you listen to the shit because
it's just a residual trickle down.
It's that G with it. It's that G with that shit.
It's kind of cool. Kind of interesting to look at. I think
for sure.
It's not. What's that?
I said, where from here?
It's not exactly related, but I told you this. Joe Budden and $1 million worth of game had a little bit of just random shots back and forth for the past few years now.
Yeah.
Finally get together to do a pod. Pod Wars.
Love the Pod Wars.
They're fun.
It's fun.
They make things interesting.
It's entertainment.
It's as good as rap beef. But they had
as dangerous.
Yeah.
Pod Wars really just be on some pod shit.
Yeah, it's more fun that way.
Really no real life beef.
It's more fun that way.
Yeah.
Did you say you did watch it?
I did. It was good.
Carl, did you watch?
I see some clips.
Gotcha. That's all I usually watch $1 million worth of game. Love the clips. Don't usually watch a lot of pods. I've seen a few full episodes. Usually pretty good. What did you think about this one?
It's a big link up right here. Because as you said, we've been seeing like the online feud between them taking little shots back and forth. So it was decent. They didn't really dig deep into a lot of their shit. They addressed like their shots that they took at each other. You know, Gilly brought up Rory and Maul and shit. You know, tried to dig shots in that, but it was more so playful most of the pod than like serious conversations. Like they was playing, they was getting jokes off, getting on each other. You know, ranking on each other and shit. That's mostly what it was. But it was good to watch it. It was good to watch just to show you like y'all really thought we was really beefing. Like, this is not beef. Like, we just talking shit because we see y'all talking shit over there, so we gonna talk shit over here. And that's all it was.
I never thought theirs was like super nasty because even when it was like beef, like when Joe responds making a joke about the room, the window in his room, like that's not a we got real beef response. Like that's a let's just keep
a shot at you right
now.
now.
Let's just keep making jokes back and forth. I'm gonna try not to go too hard, given the recent events in Gilly's life. That pod fucking sucked.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah, I watched it today. That pod sucked. And it was, you know, I've had my problems with Joe at times. I find him super interesting at other times, but it wasn't Joe's fault. Gilly ruined that pod, son. Yeah, he was terrible. He was terrible. He would not quit trying to make jokes, and the majority of them were not funny. He would keep laughing at it himself and keep them going for like, keep trying to add like he's really roasting this dude, and they all were not funny. Anytime Wallow would ask like a really legitimate, solid question,
keep the interview going, like, ask some real serious questions.
He would ask good questions, and I'm like, yo, I can't wait to hear what Joe has to say. And Gilly would be like, he gonna say some, and just say some stupid shit. I almost didn't get through it. It was an hour and a half. I watched like an hour 15, and I'm like, there's no chance the last 15 minutes gets better. I'm out. It was bad.
Wow.
So I thought I was coming in here with a hot take, and then I was like, let me just look at the comments and see, am I wild? And everybody else liked it. Yeah. The comments hated it too, and they were killing Gilly specifically. It was
just
rough.
Playing the whole time.
Well, I think the show is like I gravitate more towards Wallow anyway.
I like a little more introspective question, a little more deep.
Right, he gets into it deep, but he tells like it's not necessarily relatable experiences, but you can like envision it. You know what I'm saying? Like he paints a picture well for you when he does talk about things that he's been through and stuff like that. So I don't know. I always gravitate towards him more, and I always thought Gilly was that guy playing like the silly role. He never like gets into necessarily anything serious when I watch anything.
He'll get I see him. Like I said, I mean, I'm clip watching, but he'll get kind of serious with like the street rappers and stuff, and like really try to point them in the right direction. I respect Gilly. This just seemed. I think he does a good job usually of being the good funny guy. Yeah, like let's have a really serious conversation, but he's the good levity to drop some goofy line in it and kind of make a quick joke, and then we'll get back to the real topic again. Yeah. I think he does a really good job of doing that usually, but
he was over the top.
The comments were like he was like the drunk uncle that just wouldn't get out of the conversation when everybody else is talking about something serious.
Super annoying.
It was so bad. I hated it, man.
It's always bad because like people
listen to the pod. Like I'm sure they got to feel. Like somebody had to tell him this, right? Like, yo, this you probably don't want to drop this because
what made it worse. Good. I mean, because I was seeing a lot of their interviews and a lot of them be really good. What made it worse is people was looking forward to this link up because the has been going on for so long, so they wanted them to get to it. And the fact that he just wanted to play and joke through the whole thing, it's like this ain't what we came to see. Really, y'all just continue to joke with each other. Like
this ain't 85 South.
Yeah, like we
like they do this a whole lot better than y'all.
We want some jokes in, we want some funny parts, but we want y'all to kind of get to some real shit.
Right.
And they never did it. So
I was very disappointed.
Yeah, Gilly was geeking. You got to chill out.
Interesting. Only thing I see about Joe Budden is just because I don't watch his pod, but I always see the clips of him like arguing with the light skinned dude.
Yeah, that one was viral recently.
Turning red as a motherfucker.
Did you see one specifically recently? That
comes
Bring it up. I wanted to mention this
about his girl.
He was.
That shit was old, by the way. That shit came out like a couple months ago.
Oh, really?
I was wondering why this shit's popping up now, but
he said Joe messed with one of his exes or something like that. Like he called him or something.
That wasn't even like in the clip. It makes it look like Joe was getting at his girl and bringing her to his house or behind his back. In the full frame of the story, they was talking about the conversation was about you would never like be around somebody's girl or your man's girl without them around type shit. And they was like, y'all never do that shit. All of them say I never do that. And Joe said I never do that shit. And it's just like, you what? like you remember the time when he had been around his girl
instantly
while he wasn't there. Like I don't know if he did, but he said he never like fucked her or nothing. But Joe's spot was like the spot that everybody congregated at. Mm-hmm. So I guess Ish and his girl was going through it or something, and she like popped up at his house and wanted to talk. So Ish like was bringing up like that's he like, and Joe was on some shit like that's some fucking different shit. You act like I called your girl up and was like come through us chill and kick it. Like she popped up at my crib on some fucked up shit about you trying to talk. It was some shit like that. But the way the conversation, the clip made it look like Joe Dan was trying to get at his man's girl behind her back. It was like
Joe a little foul for that though. Did he call his homeboy immediately though?
He said that it's shit happened like a decade ago. They had been talked about it.
You gotta call
what I had seen, what I remember from the clip what he was talking about when Gilly brought it up today, was my understanding is this is an ex. Like it was not somebody he was currently with. Yeah, and she did
years ago.
Like you said, she did randomly pop up. He said there's a bunch of people at the house, and she came in, and he was like, he lit up some hookah or whatever. And in the clip, it's just like, you smoke a hookah with my ex? What are you talking about? You would never do this. But I never got the vibe.
It was a semantic argument. Well, Joe was admitting that he had been around his girl while he wasn't there.
Well, Joe was adamant about I don't mess with homies.
Yeah,
exes.
that's what
I don't talk to him. I cut him off. Yeah. Then he brought up that. So I thought the clip was fun. It was interesting anyway. But
it's fun.
Do you are there any exes? Would you ever keep in contact with your homie's ex? Would there ever be a situation where that would be okay?
It depends on how I know the homie's ex. If I like knew her and we was all friends beforehand, maybe.
That was what I came up with.
Your girl through you, then I had no reason to keep a relationship if y'all ain't together. No,
I thought the exact same thing. Yeah. If I knew the girl,
if we was all friends in school and we all knew each other, I'll still be cool with her.
Yeah, I'm not talking to her ever again because y'all broke up.
You would still speak cordially regardless, right? I mean, like, hey,
but that's on some like y'all still being friends types. I think that's what he can.
I don't have female friends to begin with.
I mean, all right.
So that's not a bad policy.
That's cool, yeah.
Not mad at that. But no, I agree with you. If it's somebody I knew before, I'm not going to not be friends with somebody because y'all broke up. But if I met her through you, there's no reason for us to talk about it.
Yeah. That's just weird.
Oh, for sure. No,
what am I ever going to talk to you about?
Besides the high and by stuff,
exactly.
The small talk isn't even necessary.
No. Nope. Hey, good to see you.
Yeah, hey. Keep moving. I hate fucking small talk. I think I've said this before.
That shit sucks.
Me too.
Yeah, I hate that shit, bro. This a lot. It is the most awkward shit in the world. I think it's a clip. I haven't seen the episode, but I guess you guys are having joint practices.
Yeah.
Right now with
we did with the Jets.
I mean, that package with the Jets.
Yeah.
They like it's so clearly forced on Hard Knocks. Him and Aaron Rodgers, Bryce Young and Aaron Rodgers coming together in the middle of the field talking and stuff, and they're just like, oh yeah, hey,
I did see this.
Yeah, it's just like it's just small talk. It's like, how you things going well for you? And
at one point they said like the exact same thing like 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Appreciate that.
Right? Yeah. Small
big
talk.
Fan, man.
It's just an example of that, like how these interactions happen. Thousands of times a day.
Millions been around a while. He's had this conversation with every quarterback in the league at some point.
Nobody wants to do this.
It's a regular conversation.
Small talk.
I agree. I hate it. And the other thing for me, I don't mind talking about. I don't mind getting in deep conversations with people, even if I don't know them.
Yeah, right.
I would much rather not talk. I would much rather not bullshit about the weather. And let's talk about something that's on your mind, even if I don't care about it. Let's just talk about something that actually either one of us cares about.
Right, that's true. Right.
What are we talking about? How hot it is out?
That's true.
It's fucking June. Of course it's hot out. What are we doing?
Hot out today, ain't it?
Yeah. Sometimes it would be like sports or music. That's a good icebreaker in the conversation.
That's the go-to. The easy go-to.
Oh man, it's hard when you meet a dude and you're like, yo, what's your favorite sports team? And I don't really watch sports, but all right.
Damn.
You're like, all right, I gotta work somewhere else here.
But you gotta let that slide. I'm like, okay, I can work with that. What kind of music you listen to? I don't really. Movies?
Anything.
No,
movies,
I'm
TV
going.
show.
If we can't hit on none of those three topics, what are we doing?
Yeah. We got to start somewhere before we get, some deep shit.
For real.
Nothing. But yeah.
That was it. I had on Budden.
JBP. What else happened?
Had we talked about, did the Keke Palmer original incident happen? Have we talked about that? I know that the song came out after.
We didn't talk about the song.
The song just dropped a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, did it actually drop?
No, Friday, actually. This Friday.
Oh, so I seen her performing it. I haven't I didn't know it was, I guess I knew it was going to be an actual song.
Well, the song was out. The video just dropped with her in it.
Oh, okay.
The video dropped with her.
Yeah, it's Usher's song.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Usher's song. What's it called?
Boyfriend
with her in the video.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the utmost disrespect possible this song was.
Yeah, and they was hitting at the shit.
Yeah.
Had little skits in the video.
Why are they doing it? Why is Usher taking it to this? You want to fight me, dog? Is that what it is, bro?
Fuck both of them, yo. Fuck both of them.
I gotta see Usher in the hands because it's bro, you playing with me and my family.
I don't know if they together still.
It don't matter at that point, but you making fun of me, dog, in your music video?
Yeah, you
poking fun at me, bro?
Cloud chasing, bro.
Nah, bro.
That shit was a big. They was talking about this shit all last week. Yeah, now we're gonna drop the video with you in it. Boom. Now everybody watching that.
Super corny on both parts, I think. I was surprised that I didn't see
Keke, why would you want to participate?
I don't think it looked good for her. The responses I saw didn't go well for her. I don't think a lot of people appreciated it.
Yeah. I ain't mad at it. I mean, it makes sense.
It's corny.
It made sense.
Corny as fuck.
I guess that would probably be a little too sensitive.
Go ahead.
Fuck this. Some of that postpartum shit. That's what are you doing? Your emotions must be out of whack or something. You doing some crazy shit out here.
Pull out. Get out of there.
I'm just saying, yo, this shit is wild.
This would be okay if he cheated on her. If the whole thing that wasn't predicated on the fact that he said her ass was hanging out.
We don't know. We don't know what happened.
Sure. Maybe more is there.
I don't think it's that deep.
If this all comes from him saying publicly that she shouldn't have her ass hanging out as a mother, then this is wild. Wild behavior.
Yeah.
Wild behavior.
I mean, look, I don't know. She trying to shake back, get her groove back or something.
She already got it.
She look good.
Never lost it.
Looking good.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, with makeup on.
They ain't gonna convince me Keke Palmer's not pretty. You can say whatever.
I'm not saying she's not a pretty girl, but
after that baby,
she also they sell an image that's not necessarily her either. I mean, it's
short. Do you think she's unattractive?
There you go.
I don't know. I do not think she's unattractive.
Come on, this is an easy question. You have to stand on your makeup and women image on a different person. This isn't the one to die on.
She put a full mask on. I just want people to know that though about Keke Palmer.
She talks about her skin issues and stuff.
Yeah, she put she got terrible acne.
Yeah, sure.
So girl. Yeah, I don't know what your point is here, bro. I don't know what you're riding for.
Bro, she bad. She okay? I'm just saying.
You're not going to find a woman out here that doesn't wear makeup. It is what it is.
I'm not saying it, but it's different between that and painting a face. I guess. That thick ass shit.
I don't think there are, say 98 to 99% of female entertainers are all caked up with makeup.
Sure. No,
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
But I mean, I'm just saying as far as true, Alicia Keys, you could say she's truly beautiful. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't need anything.
Yeah, she's been doing a natural thing. So
yeah. I'm just saying, stuff like that. It's still a difference in it. Hey,
right. You gonna find her attractive? It's fine. I think she look good.
I'm not saying she don't. I'm just saying, hey, that's the reality. It's
all that makeup on,
the Kylie Jenner,
wild as hell.
Kylie Jenner type shit. She looked bad, but what does she actually look like?
Kylie
she doesn't
Jenner's
actually
different. Kylie Jenner had a bunch of surgeries going on.
They put something on
situation
to make them look different.
Surgery and makeup is two different things to me.
Very.
Surgery can completely change how you look. Makeup is makeup.
So it's within all the same realm of wizardry to me. So it's
whatever they do.
It's a fender bender to a total accident.
Sure. Sure.
They're both
Pretty much
incidents, but they're not in the same ballpark.
Different levels of extremities for sure.
Most definitely.
Just laying that out there. That's all I'm saying. Right.
Glad you pointed that out for us. We appreciate it.
No problem.
What else we got here? Kiki.
The last music topic I had, other than all the new music that has come out, is that Beanie Siegel talking about he wants to use AI to recreate his old voice before the incident.
Makes sense.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense for him.
Just an interest. I've gotten pretty bored with the AI and music conversation. It just kind of is what it is, and everybody's saying the exact same thing. So to hear somebody had a different take on it, obviously his situation is not going to apply to most people, but it's a pretty cool concept. One of the positives that could come from it, being able to get that old sound.
I listen.
Somebody needs to holler at Sean and what's that other dude's name that used to rap with NWA back in the day? DLC.
What's up with him?
He fucked his voice thing, windpipes and shit.
Gotcha.
And then what was it? That was like a car accident or something, or got shot.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know what happened with him.
Fucked his
rap. I don't know if
he's
trying to rap still right now though. He's pretty old.
I mean, probably not.
He's really old.
Point, yeah.
Like really old.
But if you can get your own voice back.
And Sean is a fucking politician. I don't think he's thinking
is
about
he a
rapping.
Politician now?
Yeah.
He be always wearing some weird shit when I see him. He like almost Amish or some shit. Like,
yeah.
So, but I mean, just a thought for them, I guess.
It's where is it at? He's the leader of the opposition in Belize, the House of Representatives. Belize. He's part of the House of Representatives in Belize.
That's wild. I did not know that. Yeah. I might have heard that one time, but I did not recall that. That's interesting.
Y'all remember that time? I think was it last year? He came back in the States for a little bit. He was with Diddy, and then
it sounds familiar.
Yeah. It was like a big thing. When he came back to the States.
But I don't recall.
But yeah, he's a super politician now, so I don't think he's worried about dropping no albums.
Would you be interested in any other rappers doing that?
I can't think of anybody else that would apply to, and I wouldn't listen. I wouldn't listen to new Beanie Siegel, to be honest with you.
I check it out. I fuck with Beanie. Hard. And it's hard to. I've heard some of his more recent stuff with his voice now. It's not the same, of course, because it's not his voice no more. So I fuck with that just to hear him in a young Beanie voice, but still his pen, because Beanie got a pen. Like, he can fucking rap. So I want to hear that shit. I check it out.
What do you think about old artists using it that don't have the same voice anymore?
It depends on how old. It depends on how old. And I like the elder rappers still rapping, but there's some people that do need to hang it up. That just really ain't got it no more.
Like, you gonna put a name on it?
Grandmaster Flash dissing.
Yeah, once you get back to like early 80s, mid 80s, late 80s rappers,
hang it up.
It's time to hang it up.
Did y'all hear that Melly Mel diss?
Well, yeah,
I didn't hear it.
I heard,
I heard a piece of it.
Some of it, yeah, but I was like, this is just super.
Was it as bad as they said?
Yeah, it was horrible. It's
just old school 87.
Yeah.
I gotta listen to it.
He apologized for it.
I did.
He said he dropped the ball. And he apologized for putting out that weak ass diss track.
It's terrible. I mean, he thought it was hot.
He did. He did.
He thought it was hot at first. That's why he put it out.
Pretty long apology. I didn't look too much into it. I wrote it down, but that one, I'm good on that.
Yeah, here comes the time.
Some people just gotta hang it up. We won't hear you hip to the hop, the hibbit. We won't hear that right now.
Yeah. I was thinking more like singers. I wasn't even thinking about rappers.
But like, weak. It's
it's bad.
Break you like some glass.
Put your face in the sand.
Yeah, that don't work no more. You know what I'm saying?
You can't. Nah. That
shit's got to be more complex than that. Like, snap you like a plastic spoon. Like, it don't work like that.
It's got to be more complex, or you got to mumble it in a Florida accent.
Yeah,
then you can get away with it.
Possibly. You sing it in a melody, you might have something.
Bust your ass with glass.
Not like that. That's gonna need a whole lot of autotune.
Damn. But yeah.
What about new music?
There
was so much of it. I didn't listen to a lot, to be honest, but I saw a lot of it.
Quavo. Rocket Power.
Yeah. The Rocket Power single.
No, the album
dropped. Oh, he dropped a single called Rocket Power too.
Yeah, it's one of the songs. But the album is called Rocket Power. That shit hard. That shit is hard. I've been on it. But
I gotta listen to it. I haven't tapped in.
I mean, it's kind of sad to say, but after Takeover Pass in the end, I unlocked something different in Quavo to me. Because there's some slaps on that joint.
Oh, what did I tell you?
Some slaps on there.
What did I tell you? It's about to take off. That's how it go. I said that.
What?
What do you mean?
About to take off?
Yeah, it's about to take off for him.
Because Takeoff died.
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, all right, sure. Yeah.
That
album was hard.
Tell us about the album, please. Jesus Christ.
What is it? What? I mean, y'all know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nowhere.
All right. Yeah, I got you. But no, this shit is hard though. Like, it's long. It's a long album, like 18 tracks.
Oh.
But it's solid.
Dunsky.
Like at least about 75% of these tracks I'm fucking with. Pretty heavy. A lot of him. There's only a couple features. He got a few jumps will take off on it, of course, which is good to hear from him. Some new verses. And 2 jumps with Future, Thug, and that's it. Some dude named Baby Drill, and it's all Quavo. Shit's hard though.
That's dope.
18's not that bad.
Yeah.
Rocket Power killed me with the name. I was not interested anyway, but I don't like that name.
Why you don't like that name? I think it's hard.
It sounds childish.
It's a children's show.
Yeah,
Rocket
that's what
Power
makes me
was.
think it. Yeah.
Oh, you think of the show?
Yeah.
I mean, they call.
I can't hear the
Take
name
Off-
without
Take
thinking.
Off the Rocket.
I'll say a tribute to Take Off.
Yeah, they call Take Off the Rocket. That's
Got
what
you.
they call
Didn't
it.
know that.
Yeah.
Didn't know. I hear
Take
Rocket Power and
Take Off.
immediately think Rocket Power. So
Right, I got you.
ruined it for me, but that makes
I
sense.
know.
But that was a good show though. I fuck with Rocket Power.
It was
I wasn't on
overrated.
that.
That's my
I wasn't
shit.
It
on
was
that one.
overrated.
It was like a knockoff
Distinct
Power
Face?
Rangers, or what was it?
Distinct
It
Face.
was
Nah,
overrated.
fuck no, you way off.
I don't know. I never watched it.
He said a knockoff Power Rangers.
I asked if it was.
What
don't
Rocket
know.
Power y'all talking about?
I'm talking about Rocket Power where they used to surf and shit.
Yeah, that's my shit.
Remember the stink face?
I don't know Stink Face.
They used to give him a stink face. The dude used to give him a stink face, and it was supposed to be like a.
I don't know. I think you might
might
be
watch
mixing up
Rocket Power,
shows.
bro.
I did watch Rocket
He
Power.
a perpetrator.
I was thinking you was talking about a different show.
He trying to gain some clout or something.
No, I wasn't on this. This is like fake Rugrats.
It
Kinda
was a
same
little
with
more.
animation.
The animation
Same
is
type of
fake
animation.
Rugrats.
Sure,
Fake
yeah.
Rugrats.
But I fuck with Rocket Power. That shit was heavy, but whatever. Anyway, Quavo. Album was crazy. I like it. He did his thing on that joint. Should check it out.
I liked what you played earlier.
Check it out.
I probably won't, but it sounded decent.
Yeah, that was decent. That was a good album. I like what Quavo doing out here. And this guy right here, ESTG, put out a new album. That shit hard too. That shit hard too. The last couple projects I heard from ESTG, he was like doing some different shit, like trying to switch it up a little bit, which is cool. You gotta experiment. You can't be doing the same shit, but he back on his hard shit. Once you hear Forever Rolling, you know what's up. You know that beat about to be crazy. He back with his producer that he make bangers with. Take Keith on there. You know, the usual suspects that you would like to hear somebody ESTG rapping with. And that shit hard. Solid project. Got your boy on there, Rollo. Rollo got a track on there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Got
You like him anyway, don't you?
42 on
EST?
there.
Yeah, I fuck with ESTG.
Showing 42 on there, Yo Gotti, and then it's all ESTG. Got on Static Major. I thought that was interesting.
I think he's a good rapper. He got like his own little pocket that he flow in.
Yeah. He can spit.
And
Y'all see
he's
his
like
freestyle?
It's like when he rapped though, it's almost like he barely. It's almost like on some 50 Cent shit where it's like he barely opened up his mouth. He don't sound like 50 at all, but he's like he talked through his teeth or something. So you got to listen
Very
to him.
low vibrations.
He ain't like barred up or nothing, but the way he spit it just be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like he make it all come together. So
Like Kevin Gates does.
I think he barred.
Kinda-
Not saying they got the
I don't
same
know if he
He
flow,
got some
but-
hard street bars though.
It's just some hard
It's
shit.
some
but
hard-
it
he
ain't
was
like
saying some hard
It ain't no
shit.
necessarily like clever type shit like that. Anyway, it's just some real hard street
wouldn't-
shit. That
it's
he come
not
up
like-
with. It's not clever though. That's all I'm saying.
It's clever. I think it's clever street shit. He's saying shit in a clever way. And so I don't think it's like go over your head bars, but he be saying some shit like, oh shit, like I ain't never heard no street rapper put this shit together like that the way you putting it together.
I don't know if I
Listen
heard
to his
that
LA
necessarily.
Lakers joint he dropped this week.
I heard it.
I saw
He was
that.
going
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I like
He was
that.
going crazy.
I like, but I'm just saying, I don't think it's just one of them things where it's like you listen to it all the way through and you're like, oh, he killed that, but it ain't one of them bars where you got to stop and like, oh, what he say?
It ain't going over your head.
He ain't got
you
those
like,
kind of
that shit was hard. Oh, that shit was hard.
Once you listen to it collectively, you be like, all right, he killed that verse. You know what I'm saying? He killed it all the way through. It was cool, but it ain't got the midpoints or like the Lil Wayne. Of course, nobody got the Lil Wayne type bars, just using it as an example to be like, oh shit, I got to stop that just to collect what he said type.
Right.
So,
but he hard though. But yeah, ESTG, El Toro 2, shit is hard. Should go check that shit out.
Did you see that clip of him on Bootleg Kev's show?
Oh yeah, it's talking about that shit when he walked out.
why he walk out?
It was kind of weird. He didn't ask like any fucked up questions. He was being pretty straightforward and like honestly seemed really interested. He was asking about football and shit. And he just was not feeling the questions at all. And I think afterwards he was like, he wasn't asking me nothing about my album. I'm here to talk about my album. But the clip was just nuts. Like he's in the middle of asking like kind of a lengthy question and he just didn't respond, got up, walked out in silence. And he's like, is this for real right now?
It's a good move.
It was kind of wild.
I thought it was funny. I mean, it's funny to see anybody walk off a podcast.
Yeah.
It's always going to bring some attention.
For sure.
Apparently, it was like some like miscommunication between Bootleg Kev and whoever manages ESTG or something. They told Bootleg Kev that he didn't really want to talk about the regular music shit and about the album, which you got. Gotcha. He wanted to talk about different shit. And so he started talking about aliens and fucking his football career. And I think he brought up like Brian Pumper, talking about porn stars and shit. So this was random topics he started asking him about. So ESTG, I guess ESTG was expecting music questions when Bootleg Kev got something different. He was like, what the fuck? Like, he just got up because he kept asking him random ass shit that was like, well, I don't want to fucking talk about this shit. So it was a miscommunication between whoever handles ESTG and his interviews and shit. It's like, yeah, y'all fucked up. Yeah, he's going to get up if he wasn't expecting to get asked about fucking aliens and shit.
Yeah, I guess so. Funny clip.
But you know,
I got to see that. I haven't seen it.
It was funny. But who else dropped? Oh, Dame Dolla. You know, he dropping an album every off season right before the season start.
Yeah,
he give you another one. He put out another solid project.
I gotta talk to you about this. Me and you must. Carl's not here right now.
Okay. Dame Dolla.
So I haven't listened to the album, but that track list he has is crazy.
It's nuts.
Crazy.
It's nuts.
And I've heard him in the past and been like, it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
And I listened to Budden played it on one of the episodes. I saw a clip of him playing one of the songs.
Oh yeah, the first song.
I heard the song. I feel like Dame is like it's impressive for a rapper that he raps as well as he does.
For a basketball player.
Yeah, for a basketball player. It's impressive that he raps as well as he does. I think he's talented at it.
Yeah.
But it's not like up to par with what I would usually listen to. Right. Is that crazy or do you feel that same way?
No, you're right. It's a ceiling. You got
it's like, this is cool, but it's hard for me to, it's hard for that to pull me in when I'm not super pulled into a lot of hip hop right now. I'm like, it's cool.
It's gotta be something impressive. You gotta feel like
he's gotten better over the years. I say that. Like you listen to some shit he did like 3-4 years ago. It's like he sounds way better than that now. But he ain't jumped to a level where it's like, oh shit, he's super nice. It's like he's hit his ceiling. He's gonna get whatever features that he fuck with. He getting Ross, Lil Wayne, Cyrus the Kid, M.A.C. He getting guys that fuck with him on his album, so it's gonna be decent to listen to. It just sounds solid tracks.
It sounds like somebody who rap is a hobby.
Yeah,
you know obviously. That's what it sounds
we know
like,
what his profession is.
Right.
So
that's why I'm like, I can never get into it because it's like it's not a serious rap.
But I like it because he's consistent. Like he consistently is dropping an album every year in the off season. So he never really drops nothing during the season or anything like that. So it's like I like the consistency where it's like, oh, he really fuck with rapping because he's fucking $200 million man. Like he don't really be fucking rapping. But obviously he loves to do it, so he continues to put out albums. So I fuck with that. It's consistent. A lot of people don't say consistent with shit like that, especially with like a hobby.
Yeah. I respect it. I want to like it, but when I've heard it, it doesn't fully draw me in.
Right.
But
Understood. Shout out to Dame. Who's this under? Front Page Music. I guess it's a little independent label. But yeah, it's solid. That's all I really listened to was those albums.
Did you listen to Russ?
I skimmed through it. This is like Singing Russ.
Oh, really?
This is like a Singing Russ album, even though it's in the hip hop section, but there's a lot of like R&B
I'm glad I got
records.
that heads up. I haven't listened to it yet. I like him though. I want to listen to it, but
yeah, I like rapping.
Good to
Russ.
know that ahead of time.
I like rapping.
Kind of got that Russ look going on.
You definitely do.
Now that I think about it,
you know what?
Is that the inspiration?
I'll be honest with you. I'm man enough to admit this. It is kind of the inspiration.
I see it.
I think Russ is a cool looking dude. I think he's a cool guy in general. But I was like, yo, kind of fuck with the long hair. The unfortunate part is my hair don't work like his hair. I don't got these curls that look dope as fuck if I did. But my hair is
just put money with his
rollers in it.
Put some rollers in your hair. If I ever see you with rollers in your hair, bro.
Thoughts have been had.
You probably had rollers in your shit.
You wouldn't see it.
No, bro.
When you make it curl up and shit,
I'll just get it braided for that.
you get a little curling iron in there, Joe.
Nah, bro, you don't do none of that with the locks, bro. That's a violation of natural hair.
I got you.
Thoughts have been had. You won't see me with rollers, but if I could get the final product I'm looking for, yeah, it is what it is.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Thoughts
How
have
you
been
achieved
had.
it? They just don't know the end results. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
They wanted to lab with you.
I can
Was
admit
shooting
that.
in the gym.
It wasn't shooting at the
That's a
gym.
guy's version of makeup. Don't do that. You might come in with the curls next week.
No, that ain't makeup because it still would be me.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
It's a transformation, not a complete
That's
facade.
kind of makeup
Alteration.
Ooh,
My
kind of
man.
makeup
Oh,
ass.
man.
It's the makeup ass because you don't
I'm
naturally
saying,
have curly
yo,
hair.
you see some people do some shit with
So wait,
makeup
say
where
that
they
again.
can like
to make it curl more.
Well, what did you say though?
Do you naturally have curly
No,
hair?
none.
So then you
it's
just
a
know
trick.
a little bit.
It is a trick.
No,
I
no,
wouldn't
no.
say that. That would be a trick.
I can call it a trick, but makeup is an additive. I'm transforming
true.
what's already there.
That's true. An additive.
It ain't no
You said
different than being fat and turning skinny.
Alterations, additives, semantics.
Nah, very different. Very different.
Yeah. Just saying.
If you squeeze oranges into orange juice, you've transformed it to another form. You add in a bunch of other shit, you made it unhealthy, and now you fucked it up. Add a bunch of extra sugar and all this.
I like how you
fresh
tried to
squeeze.
make it deep with
Oh,
that.
that was
You tried to
fire.
go deep with that
That was
analogy.
fire.
I see what you're
Off the
getting.
fly, that was
out
fire.
of oranges. I got you.
That
I
was
got
fire.
You. I got you.
But anyway,
but there's a bunch of singles drop. I ain't really getting too much of the singles, but
you check Rod Wave single?
Rob
Yeah,
drop.
I listened to it.
What'd you think?
Of course.
Rod Wave.
That's right.
It's on par.
Send it to somebody else.
Wave.
Say you like Rod. If
That's
you
all you
like
can
Rod
say,
Wave,
bro.
you're gonna like
Rod
this
Wave.
one.
Yeah, it's Rod Wave.
It's Rod
I mean, it's a good song.
is a good
overall, I think I haven't re-listened to it though. I listened to it one time so far, but it's. I mean, I wasn't impressed by it or nothing like that. I was just like, oh, this is
Not
another
Mr.
solid-
Replay value.
That's when he impresses is when you do realize, oh shit, I fucking love this song.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't. I'm like I said, it didn't blow me away or anything, but I thought it was a solid record.
September 15th. That's when the album drops.
Okay, yeah, I figured the rollout's coming for that. Yep. I think it's going to be a good project. I'll listen to it then.
Y'all excited?
I am.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. The single that did impress me though was Lil Tecca.
Oh, with Kodak.
Have you heard that?
I did. It was good.
Heaven on Earth.
Of course, it's something with Kodak. I haven't
good.
heard it at all.
I mean, it's a hit song though.
It is for sure.
It's a Lil Tecca can. I've heard some of his music, especially like Ransom. I think we all heard that song. That was really popular back in the day. And he can make some music and stuff. Like he has a good ear for, what people want to hear type shit. So I like, his little melodies and hooks and stuff like that. And he just does like the little generic rap with a few like borderline clever bars in there. Is one of these guys I think, or I know he's a lot smarter than what he portrays.
He was the one that says that.
Yeah,
That's
like
him,
musically, right? Yeah. I think back in the day, Lil Tecca might have been a Lupe Fiasco type rapper.
Gotcha.
But he's so good at he knows like the general sound.
He thinks of him as a nerd.
Right.
It draws Lupe.
Oh yeah,
I think that's what he's going for.
He a fraud.
Yeah.
He rap about is not what he does in real life.
Yeah.
Right. He just knows what people want to hear.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Interesting.
He does
You
a good
like him
job
because you
with
like your rappers to be authentic.
That is authentic though.
How's
to
our parent
authentically say
fraudulently
that
rap
you're
about
not
shit
that.
that's not.
Yeah, I mean, but it's an admission. He knows. I have no problem with anybody being a creative and saying whatever the fuck they can think of, but just be like, oh, that was just some bullshit to me, and I'm fine with it, because as long as you ain't out here trying to say like this is the actual life I portray, or these are the things that I do on a real basis. Oh, I'm just trying to make some music. That's completely different to me.
I don't fuck with that. He ain't gonna tell me you saying bullshit, and then I'm gonna listen to it like, oh, it's bullshit.
But everybody else doing it though. Everybody else doing it. This the person who admits it to you. It's like
over my eyes.
I don't like to be deceived. I don't like to be deceived.
Make me entertained.
Entertainment is
you
all
gonna
the
tell
same.
me, oh no, I never touched lean in my life. I'll rap about lean and perks. What? All right. The fuck?
I think that's perfectly fine. Like
I think it makes sense.
I've been
like
recording with people or whatever, and it might be like, say we just listening to a beat in the room, and it's always like some dude there that's not really rapping, but he just there, somebody's friend or something like that, and they might rap a little verse or something and be like, I'm just talking about some crazy. I tell them like, yo, spit that shit. Yeah. You thought of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just storytelling at the end of the day. Like, go ahead, spit that shit. But people know when they see you ain't about this gangster shit. You gotta, you know what I'm saying, admit to any of that. Like, just be who you are. But that's unfortunately what music is today. So it's like, hey, if you thought of it, fuck it, rap
it's
it.
a little childish to me. I mean, when I hear his song, he sounds like a kid, so I can't really get into it.
It's some definite like bubblegum type shit, but
popish.
But I mean, that's his niche. You know what I'm saying? So he
it
does
works.
it well.
He got fans.
Yeah,
do his thing.
He got his fan base is just pretty big.
Oh yeah,
I
don't know that.
Pretty solid. I did like that Uzi single though.
Oh, you said it was Mike Will made it?
With who?
Blood Moon or Mike Will?
Is it somebody else featuring on it or no?
It's just Uzi, Mike Will, and J. Cole produced it though.
He dropped a single with somebody else, or somebody dropped a single with him on it. I can't remember what it was. So.
I don't know.
It's probably that one. I think it's Mike Will made it is listed as the artist.
Maybe that's what
Uzi, I believe.
Maybe that's what I saw.
Yeah, I think it's probably the same one. I haven't heard that yet though.
That shit hard though. That shit's hard.
That makes sense.
So he's been doing a lot of work lately in the studio and stuff for like newer artists and stuff like that too. So
Mike Will?
No, Lil Uzi.
Oh, okay. I mean, okay. So I feel like he's one of those that you described, young new artists.
Oh yeah.
No,
super new at this point.
He's been out for
young.
We're talking about 5+ years for Uzi now. I mean, I don't think that's a new artist no more. You got half a decade in the game.
Yeah,
at least that, probably more than that. He was on the 2017 freshman group, so I won't consider any of those guys. That's new artists nowadays.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about like,
I guess it's just weird, like where you say that is like he like the OG, and like I'm gonna start reaching down to these younger guys.
How
old is he? Like 23, like
probably 24, 25. Yeah. But I mean, that is what it is, because a lot of these young guys, they're 17, 18, like the dude Lil Tyler, out of Florida with that viral single he got.
My bad, I meant to that. Yeah, I seen his name before a few times.
Yeah, I saw him in the studio working with Lil Uzi and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
Solid.
Yeah.
Ain't mad at it.
I checked out a couple of things, not a ton, but I listened to Mick Jenkins put out an album. He had
I heard that name in
Freddie Gibbs, Benny, and JID on there. So I had to listen. It was okay. I wasn't that impressed, to be honest, and I liked their verses. I don't know if I'm a big Mick Jenkins guy. I see his name a lot. I know he's like a rapper, but I wasn't super impressed.
Real super underground. Gets a lot of that cult kind of following he has.
Yeah.
He's decent. I heard some decent shit, but he's been around for a while, like a decade at least.
Yeah.
He's been around for a while.
Yeah, I think he was probably around back at that 2013 backpack stuff.
Yeah.
I listened to two other random people. Leon Thomas, this dude is listed in R&B and soul. He had a track with
Leon.
Benny the Butcher on there and one with Ty Dolla. I listened through that album one night. That's pretty good R&B soul. I think if you like that, check him out. And it's this other dude I've been seeing on Instagram, Teddy Swims.
I've seen that name a lot. Yeah,
he's got this song "Lose Control" is going wild right now. he's got like one of the craziest soulful voices I've ever heard. This dude makes fire. He's listed.
What does he look like?
Big fat white dude with tats all over the place.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
He looks like he was probably a wild boy at some point.
Yeah,
but he's listed under like R&B, soul, pop, and country. He has a couple songs that have like more of a country sound to it. That dude is fire though. That's what I've been mostly listening to the last week or so.
Yeah. Interesting. Good shit.
Anything else music related? We got some other sports stuff, of course.
I think that's it for music for right now.
Yeah, I think we covered all bases there for what we could.
What's on your mind for
Lil
sports?
Durk dropped a new single. I didn't check that out though. Funky Thought.
I
feel like
it's hard.
I don't know. Yeah, I see it. Is it a shot or no?
It's got to be, right?
Shot at who?
Fuck you mean? Fuck you thought? I don't know. That's the first thing I saw when I seen it like that. But maybe when I seen the title,
that was the first thing I thought too.
Or maybe he just like, hey, that's a viral single. I can, get something off of that. And I don't think Durk necessarily need that, but I don't know. People name shit, different things all the time.
Yeah. Have y'all seen any kind of like rumblings of him getting like fans kind of saying he's falling off right now?
Who, Durk?
I think
I haven't heard rumblings about that now, but it was who did I see talking about this one time? It might have been Joe. He was talking about how like being the hottest rapper is so short lived these days. It's like you literally getting like
you get a
2 years tops if you extend it.
Yeah.
You're getting a good 2 years and then you're just regular now. You back to just who you was. And I think that's what Durk going through. He had his good year and a half, 2 year where he was like one of the hottest. And now it's just evening out.
I think you got to have a certain talent level to sustain it though. I think you got to.
Who sustained it?
J. Cole.
Okay, now we got to talk about guys that's been around a decade.
I'm just saying,
talking about the new guys who have you seen been the top person in the last 5 or 6 years. It's a short-lived run. It's the Baby, Lil Baby, Durk.
Yeah.
You can put Kodak in that. He was one of the hottest for a short stint. Uzi, yeah. I mean, Uzi's kind of still one of the hottest, but it's still like...
He had one of those where his might have died out a little bit, but it was just because there wasn't music for a period of time. As soon as he dropped, it was right back.
And he don't drop a lot.
Yeah, so that's what I mean.
He's like the people that actually making it longer is the ones that really make you wait a couple years before they drop a new record.
So you think it's fatigue?
Yeah,
what I saw...
people put out a lot of fucking music.
I think it was on
Twitter. 2 albums a year. This was like...
Shit. I think it was on Twitter, and that's why I was asking, because Twitter just be hating. People hate on Twiter.
Yeah,
it's called X now.
It's Twitter still. Twitter. So on Twitter, I saw the snippet, and everything underneath it was people like, "Yo, he's doing the exact same song again. I'm so tired of this shit."
And then it's that. How many times are you hearing that? Oh, you making the same song? He's been hot for 2 years.
Yeah.
what is y'all expecting to happen so fast? Like, I understand. Like, people get burnt out too quick.
Different, immediate.
And expecting you to switch your whole shit up when this is why the reason that you hot.
Yeah. That makes people do hop on the new shit fast.
Yeah.
People said it about the Baby. By the way, the Baby, he back cooking up.
You got
a couple joints right now. I
thought some of his best rapping has been since he's kind of had this little hiatus or whatever, like the Baby. From what I see, I like the little freestyle things that he did. Like he's to me, I think he's actual like his skill level wise. I think he's a top tier rapper. I just don't think that people look at him that way.
I think all the way around, like the video, he's directing the videos now. Like he's getting more. He's always been dope on the visuals, but the way he puts it together, his show, the performance, like all around as an artist, I think he's top tier level in everything that he does to me. He on tour right now. He on tour right now with 50 going crazy. He's a really good rapper. But this is like, but he got some more shit cooking up. But it should be short lived these days.
Yeah.
Short lived.
All right. Well, I told you we got some sports stuff.
Yeah.
The biggest story I think of the past 2 weeks outside of all the NFL buzz has been James Harden. Of course. Mm-hmm. At this point, have we talked about anything that's going on with him? Or has that just been within the last little bit?
We haven't talked about it.
All right. So a couple of weeks or last week, whenever it was, Harden is in China
Yeah.
And goes viral for telling whoever he's talking to. I don't even know what this was for.
A bunch of Chinese kids.
It was just like a camp or something.
It's a room full of Chinese kids. He decided to make this big ass announcement.
Very strange setting.
He said, I don't remember the exact quote.
Go live for all that, ain't it?
Oh, that shit was the oddest part to me. Why you make this announcement in front of these Chinese kids?
Super
weird.
I
think it was odd too because it's like there was no reaction in the room though.
Because they don't know what the fuck he's saying.
Well, all right, I got a theory on it. So Daryl Morey is the guy that was in trouble for supporting Taiwan and was not wanting the NBA to do whatever China wanted. Oh, okay. So if you're going to make an announcement saying that Daryl Morey's a liar and I'll never play for him, the place you probably get the most support is in China.
Okay.
That's just a theory I got.
Okay. They didn't respond really. They were just like,
they were waiting for the interpreter to tell
me. I'll repeat. Let me say it again. Like they ain't know what you said the first time. They ain't gonna hear it again. Oh, Morey is a liar. I thought it was an odd situation, but
tell us what he lied about. Did he leak any of those details? I haven't seen any of
that. Came out today.
Yeah,
it said he lied. He said he called him a liar after claiming that Morey told him that he would trade him quickly following his opt-in to his $35.6 million contract for this season.
Yeah, and so there was questions whether or not he was going to come back to Philly this year, and he opted in pretty early.
Yeah.
Apparently, according to what James is saying, he opted in with a handshake understanding that I'm not staying here, you're going to get me out.
There was a lot of big rumors of where he was going.
Locking in the $35 million or whatever the sign-in was. So at this point, he's fully trying to make his way out of Philly.
Yeah.
Since that initial thing, he's made a few comments about, or maybe it's not even him making comments, but there's been other reports from like NBA reporters saying that he plans to continue this as far as it needs to go. Like he'll do whatever he has to get out of there. And now more recently, there's rumblings here about Embiid wanting to get out because of everything that's going on, or the circus that is Philly. So this could get really nasty fast.
It means a lot nowadays.
It does.
Hey, just, Philly fan, you're welcome. You can just let it sit at ease now. The Celtics have ended the process. Shit is officially over.
It's looking.
Shit is officially over.
Quickly heading that direction.
Ended. Y'all got to regroup now. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I would trade. He wants to go to the Clippers. So the other thing is he made it known he wants to go to the Clippers. They apparently talked to the Clippers for quite a while and tried to make a deal happen, and they haven't been able to reach an agreement.
Clippers and Houston.
I would trade James Harden for Norman Powell straight up and say, take the loss, fucking move on. I don't think Harden has much value as a player. He had one monster playoff game this past playoffs and then sucked in every other game that he was in. He's got the history of being the non-playoff guy. He's a headache. He wants to leave everywhere he goes.
Right.
Get him the fuck out of here and take whatever you can to get him back is what I would do.
I get maybe something did happen with him and Daryl Morey.
I'm sure. I bet it's true.
Slighted.
Yeah.
But at what point is it you? The common denominator in all of these places is James Harden, and it just keeps not working out. I mean, point the thumb, motherfucker. I mean, we learned this a long time ago.
I think he had a great season last year. He led the league in fucking assists.
Yeah, he did.
As their point guard.
I'm not saying he's a bad player.
Guy, B gets hurt and he comes in and gives you a 40-ball game after not being that guy the whole season. Like, what more are you expecting out of Harden? I mean, I feel like he did what he's supposed to do.
Come on.
Stop being a little bitch.
He did what he's supposed to do. He gave you 2 40-point games in the playoffs.
What you said is true. That's nice. He shot 20% for the playoffs or something like that.
He had some bad games for sure.
You can't be a top player in the league and do it. But I agree with you. I'm not saying he's a bad player. You can't lead the league in assists and be a bad player. Plus, I think he was close to 20 points a game.
Yeah.
He still is a talented player.
He had a great year.
But he's clearly not worth the headache. And if it's going to destroy the team from within and you lose Embiid because of it as well, like, you're better off just making the move, get him out wherever you can and keep on. But at the same time, it's not my money. It's not my team. I'm not a Sixers fan. So I'm hoping that Daryl Morey does what he did with Simmons and just say, fuck you. We're not getting rid of you for nothing. I want to stick it to these guys.
They're in a tough spot. And it seems like they keep getting held hostage in these positions.
They do.
Like, at least the last 3 years, we've seen it happen over and over again. So it's just like, hey, what can you do?
Yeah.
I mean, at a certain point,
what can you do?
I agree with what you're saying as far as if it keeps happening, Harden's got to look at himself. But same thing for the Sixers front office. If it keeps happening to you got to figure out something. You're picking the wrong guys.
They coined it, the process.
Yeah.
And your fans have been waiting through this process patiently, waiting to get a ring.
Man, these bad franchises, it doesn't change, like it.
Even when ownership's changed, it's kind of weird how some franchises just stay that way.
You just picking up shit. That's pretty much where it is. You're trying to rebuild something that was never established. So I don't know. That's how I look at it. Like, it's always hype around these type of teams, but they come up short.
Yeah, Philly's not a team that, no matter how good they are throughout the regular season, when you go to the postseason, it's like, I think the Bucks might be better, or the Celtics. You're always picking somebody else because Philly's going to Philly at some point.
It kind of all started with that finals against Kawhi. That Kawhi shot was like the beginning of the end.
He killed Philly.
That was the beginning of the end right there. And when that happened, it was like, shit, that was a blow. Yeah. That was the closest they ever gotten to make it to the finals.
So close, son. He killed Philly.
I'll never forget that shot.
4 bounces on
one of the greatest shots of all time.
4 bounces on the rim.
Just insane.
That's all shit he made it.
I was crushed. I was cheering for Embiid heavy. I was crushed.
You couldn't roll.
I mean, the way I felt, I couldn't imagine what a fan felt like. For either way, just the way I felt watching it. And I'm not a fan of it. I'm just a fan of the game. It's like, man, that's a shitty night for you and your friends in Philadelphia.
For real.
Imagine a Philly bar packed out watching that shit bounce in.
Night
silence.
Night fucked up.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit hurt.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What can you do?
What was the other one? Oh, that was the only basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Football. Was that the name of the doc?
I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think
Johnny Manziel. If you're not familiar, you're probably not watching our pod. So Johnny Manziel doc. Hour-long Netflix.
Real quick watch.
Thought it was pretty good.
Quick watch.
Interesting.
It was, it wasn't that long ago. We all kind of know the story and all the shit that happened. The only part that really shocked me was, did y'all know that he came from oil money shit was a lie?
I never knew that.
Yo, like that really fucked me. It didn't fuck me up, but it was like during that time where it was happening, it was like, this shit is really odd how he acting with money if he come from money. Don't nobody come from money and be in school partying and living life, taking trips during the season. Like, nobody's living like that come from money. Nobody's carrying on.
You think so?
I always thought that was odd.
I thought it made sense.
Regular college shit, like you going to party, cool. But he was like going to Vegas and parties with LeBron. And it was like, don't nobody act like that come from money. That's not how somebody acts.
I don't think so. I disagree.
He was acting like a person that just got money. And obviously in the doc, it shows that he was just coming into making a lot of money during that time illegally.
He was selling shit in college.
Yeah, doing signings and merch signings and shit like that. Like, yeah.
I thought
it all makes sense now.
I guess I'm not surprised about the story, but I didn't think that way because like they covered it as far as he wasn't anybody crazy at the time when he first started it was Ole Miss, right?
No, he went to fucking Texas A&M.
A&M, that's right. Same colors, I believe. Yeah. Texas A&M. I mean, I don't think he was even the starter initially, but it was when they beat Bama. When they beat Bama is when it took off, and that was he said like season he went overnight from
his Heisman season.
From that moment of beating Bama is when he couldn't even like go on to campus for class because he was just getting mobbed. So it made sense to me that at that moment is when he began to have the accessibility of Drakes, of people that were asking him to come out to basketball games and shit like that. But I don't know. I didn't think anything of the money stuff because it was just like, okay, that's how he has the money. But it is crazy to find out now that was just a completely made up story.
His boy, what's his name? Nathan or something? Something
like that.
Like he was holding him down.
He was lying his ass off.
He was holding his man's down.
That dude was a G.
Even though he was a fucking accident waiting to happen, he was kind of holding him down. He was kind of taking the blame for a lot of shit, but it was like he was just holding his boy down.
He knew his role.
That's my man's, bro.
He knew his part for sure.
So it sucks that they're like not friends no more after the fact or some shit.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Got in the league. It was like, damn, he really held you down while you was in college, bro. You could have really fucked this shit up.
That was fucked up.
He was holding you down.
Really fucked up to cut that dude off.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking when he was playing, like he was one of the most fun quarterbacks to ever watch.
He was.
And I was in college.
That Heisman season was nuts.
I was a huge
He was going
fan.
crazy.
I was a huge fan. Well, just because like I don't care that much about college football, so I'm not married to a team. Whoever was the most fun team, I was like, that was fucking amazing. Yeah. Every time you turn on the TV, he was doing something nuts.
He put on the show.
And then once he became Johnny Football and like was going to the league and made it to the league and stuff, he was such an asshole that I fucking hated him. Yeah. And I was like, I hope this dude's career falls apart. Yeah. And then now you see it does, and he's had a tough time falling from the top. It's not a pretty sight, but I kind of enjoyed it, I'll be honest.
It's a good doc, though. It's good to see.
What do you mean he's had a tough time? Did they cover that a lot?
Yeah, so from the point of blowing up in college, like it was the true overnight celebrity.
Right.
You hear other people talking about being overnight celebrities. They're like, I grinded for this for 10 years. He wasn't that. He was a legitimate overnight. He was the new name and couldn't go anywhere without being mobbed. Like to be able to not even be able to go to class is just crazy. So I can understand how the lifestyle change is fun for a minute. And then it's like, it was kind of fucking sucks. I kind of hate it. And then once he got drafted, they talk a lot in the doc about once he went to the NFL and just how much he hated football at that point because of everything that had happened. And he gets to Cleveland, and you know the big clip going around was that he had 0 time watching film.
Right.
The team gives him the iPad to track him watching film, and he was literally 0.00 hours. He never even turned it on. And he says in the doc that he was trying to get in trouble. Like he was trying to get out of the NFL. He didn't even want to be there anymore, and his actions seemed pretty clear.
Ass with the Browns. But I thought it was what was another part that I forgot about when he went to Texas A&M that first year he started. That was the same year that the Texas A&M went to the SEC.
Oh yeah.
That was the first season they joined the SEC. So he got on. You on all the biggest stages when you play Bama and all them. You in the eyes of the whole nation watching you go crazy like you was. So it was like everything kind of lined up for him to blow up like it did, and it like kind of. Of course, he was sabotaging himself, but he blew up so fast. It was like how you expect somebody to respond to all this immediate fame because you beat Bama and it's your first year in the SEC. It's like that's a huge thing to do. Like we all know who Bama was. Yeah. So to come into their fucking SEC and beat their ass was like, whoa, who was this guy?
Wasn't it? It was Kingsbury, right?
Yeah, Kingsbury Coastal.
Kingsbury was in the dock a decent amount.
Mike
and
Evans
kind of made it clear that, you know, of course he was self-sabotaging, but it was the normal NCAA model where no coaches were telling him shit. He was there. Right. He was putting food on their table, and
the big man
they just let him get away with anything. It did fastened the amount of time it was going to take for him to unravel when nobody held him accountable.
Yeah, they kind of added to it a lot because they just let him do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. It was just never good. But
it's not their responsibility after he's done there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But even like while he was there, he just had zero accountability. And I can understand from their perspective we're doing well as a football team, which is my job.
Right. That's all they give a fuck about. And then they're not worried about him as a man, though. You know, necessarily a lot of programs. They got so many kids that come in and out. It's like this motherfucker could be in the transport portal next week. Yeah. You know,
I mean, that's newer now, but
I'm just saying,
that time you are expected to help this boy be a man coming through your system.
That's not the expectation for
I think it should be,
but that's not the reality.
And when you got the golden goose, it's even worse. It's like we don't do anything to upset this guy.
Yeah.
Right.
He is our guy. I'm sure the same was true of Jamarcus Russell at LSU. It's like This is the guy.
The coaches saw that he wasn't fucking preparing for the games and stuff like that. They didn't give a fuck. Nobody came up to him and said like, "This is the habits you got to establish to do that." They didn't care about that because they don't. That's not their problem. They got other kids to coach up coming up. You know what I'm saying? That's not their problem on the next level. They're not raising men, especially at these big programs. Yeah, like the ones that's winning national championships and nationally competing. It's just a cycle for them. Yeah. A lot of these coaches, man. They'll tell you more about the guy they are on film than the person that they actually are. Like the coaches anyway, they don't know these people like that. You know, too many kids.
There's a lot of shit that came together that made it kind of built up the disaster a little bit. Like even the for Kingsbury to let him do what he wanted to do, he had this strict rule that freshmen can't talk to media that whole season. So his Heisman season, he never did an interview, never had to talk. He never even knew what his fucking voice sounded like. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they threw that narrative of him getting oil money when we start getting them the news about how he was getting all this money. This friend put that out in the media because he never had to do an interview, so they could throw that out there and people would just run with it. Yeah. And that's just what the story was.
Answer for it,
he never had to get questioned about it if that was true or not. It was just the narrative.
Yeah. And then once that's a thing for long enough, it's like, why would we ask him about it?
He comes from oil money. And they were showing clips of Skip. Yeah, he comes from oil money. Everybody was talking about it. Just straight up lie about his life, and everybody ran with that shit. That shit was wild.
Some 19-year-old kid made it up, and everybody just said, yeah, that's true.
He got the whole world repeating it, so that was real. That shit was nuts.
It was wild. It was good.
That's one of Skip's worst takes in the world about Johnny football.
It was in there.
Oh, was the Merrill Hodge clip in there too, or no? Probably not.
I can't remember because I watched it so soon after.
Yeah.
I can't remember though if it was in it or if I just saw it elsewhere. But yeah, Merrill Hodge murdered that. Couldn't have been more spot on if he had to be.
Yeah, I mean seriously,
it was ridiculous.
Seriously. Definitely did.
Well, y'all mentioned you want to get into some football.
Yeah,
you want to talk about your Pats? You said,
man.
You excited?
I was on the fence going into this offseason, just seeing what we was going to do. But the moves we made and, the preseason stuff and practices I've been seeing, paying attention to, training camp and all that, we look fucking good, yo. And I think I'm going to go on the record right now and say that we're going to have one of the best running back fucking duos in the league with Zeke and Ramondre. Big Zeke and Ramondre, bro, they're going to be a fucking problem for people out here. I'm just letting it be known. I'm just letting it be known, bro. They look fucking good, yo.
I think Zeke can probably run, but he lost a step for sure. But I think the Patriots going to roll out a similar team that they rolled out last year. I think it will be a little bit better. They'll win a couple more games.
I think it's going to be a lot better.
I think we're looking at like a 10-win ceiling for the Pats. Possibly. I just think the division is probably going to be more overwhelming for them. I don't see the high-end talent.
It's going to be tough
on the roster to be able to combat.
I still stand on our defense, and for sure. I think our offense looks a lot better.
But do y'all have the best defense in the division now?
I would say so.
Looking at the Jets?
I would still say so.
Yeah? Okay.
I would still say we're better.
I mean, I think it could be a toss-up.
They got the big name, Sauce, and we get
Quentin Williams.
As a whole, they got the stars. As a whole, I think we have a better whole defense than them.
I think the Jets are maybe a little bit overhyped. But I do think it's going to be an uphill climb for the Pats in that division.
I still feel like we own the Jets. They got a lot of stars, a lot of names.
I think the Jets are going to win the division.
I still feel like we own them.
Yeah, I mean, that's a popular pick.
I think they're going to win the division, and I don't think I'm caught up in the hype. I think their defense was so elite last year that they had the most insanely terrible quarterback play, and we're still like in the majority of games.
Well, I just don't have to be Rodgers. He just got to be okay.
Yeah, the offense is... Garrett Wilson's a stud,
really
and he had nobody that could get him the ball. I just think their offense is so much more improved, and the defense is there. I think I'm going to rock with that.
Garrett Wilson's probably a guy who can go for 1,600 this year for sure.
It seems that way.
Yeah, he gets open a lot, and Rodgers is going to find him. They got. I think the Jets are the team to beat in the East probably overall, but
they look amazing on paper. You can't deny it.
Yeah, they got to play it out. Who knows? They could still be the Jets.
Chemistry matters too. I mean, it looks like Rodgers is kind of blending with them, but at the same time, they ain't been in no live fire yet.
Yeah,
so
that's easy right now.
When we get into Hard Knocks, it kind of goes into that a little bit.
Yeah, that changes stuff. Guys might not like Aaron Rodgers as much as they do.
They love him now.
It can't be that bad though, because all the offense is his old teammates. So there's not that much adjustment.
Yeah, a lot of them. Lazard and fucking Cobb.
Did you see they were trying to get Bakhtiari?
Were they? It looked like he was
trying to work out a trade to bring him over. It's just like Aaron legitimately is just going to strip the Packers of everything he wants.
And then I think it's silly though, because it's one of those things like the Jets are just like conforming and like making every concession they can to
the
please.
Jets, man.
Hey. I mean, I guess when you've been the Jets for
it looks good right now until we get on the fucking season start.
And
y'all take a couple L's and it's like,
shit could blow up.
It can go left real quick.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm saying.
I believe in the Patriots brand of football, so I think that just carries over season to season.
You believe in our brand, huh?
I mean, as far as it's a defensive mode of football, I do think Mac Jones is a capable quarterback. He definitely can run your offense for sure. I don't think he's going to give you a lot of wild plays, but you don't necessarily need that to get the ball down the field.
I think Mac will be him.
And they're going to have a good run game. So, I mean, those things translate, especially later on in the season. So I do think they're going to be a contender. I don't think they're going to be a terrible team, but it's just going to be hard for them, in my eyes, to kind of
people sleeping,
especially navigate through the AFC.
We got a sleeper guy, boy Butte from LSU.
The wide receiver?
A beast.
6th-round pick?
I've seen that on Twitter. I don't really know much.
His numbers, one of the stats I know is kind of whatever. First to 100 catches in LSU history in 21 games, the fastest over Jefferson, Chase, and Beckham. That's the stat.
Anytime you can put your name with those names.
We got him for a steal in the 6th round or something like that. He looked nice in the preseason.
They say he only played like 2 series or something, and then set him down. So that means he looked nice. For a 6th round pick. I mean, he's going to make the roster. Yeah. I mean, for sure.
That's what's up.
He's going to be in the mix.
For a lot of guys.
I forgot this other dude's name. Another guy that we got from Louisville, quarterback in Louisville.
I already talked about the running guy.
Yeah, he played receiver and quarterback for us in the same game.
He balled out in the first preseason game. Yeah. He had a
receiver first half, was quarterback in second half, and had great stats in both sides of the situation.
Yeah,
I was like, who is this guy?
I mean, that's a valuable guy to at least put on your roster because you never know, what could happen in a quarterback situation.
Yeah. It's I don't know how Bill does it, but he finds these diamonds in the rough that start shining. It's like, who is this guy? Why haven't I known about him? And he's another one of those guys. So I think I'm feeling pretty good about going into the season.
That's what's
up. Make some shit happen.
This is the time of year for optimism. If there's any time of year, this is where optimism is at its peak.
That's a fact.
And let me tell you, I'm there as well too.
I know you are. Go ahead. Give it to us.
I'm there as well too. I mean, I just think
you guys are like the darlings of the ball right now, as far as media is concerned. Everybody's really high on the Steelers currently.
I think they're just late on it, man. I mean, I don't get. To me,
they late,
and I get that there's teams that made the playoffs and Kansas City won the Super Bowl and all that stuff. But to me, looking at it, I think the Steelers are coming into the season with more momentum than any other team in the NFL. That's how I see it. Based on how they finished the season and coming in this season, and you could say that. I mean, Kansas City again, they won the fucking Super Bowl, so you could say, "Hey, Kansas City's doing that," but they've been doing that. I don't think they've gained any momentum. Like I think you can argue the Lions as well too, but the Steelers finished down the stretch better than the Lions did last year. So, and they had some really, really big moments down the stretch. Like they were contending for the playoffs and Pickett delivered in back-to-back games, game-winning drives with under a minute left. That meant something, and I think that momentum has carried over through the offseason. You can see that Pickett has put in a lot of time in the offseason. It's one thing that he really had to improve at in my eyes, and that's just playing within structure. Because outside of structure, I feel like he's an elite quarterback already. I feel like he's probably one of the best quarterbacks. He's second to none, I would say, at throwing the ball on a run accurately. He can put the ball in precise places, running right or left. It doesn't matter. He's an accurate quarterback when it comes to that. But as far as like deciphering a defense in the pocket, he needed a lot of work there. And I mean, from what I've seen in the preseason so far, he's improved greatly. So if he can do that in combination with his off-schedule plays, he's going to be a fantastic player. And if he's a fantastic player, then the Steelers will be a fantastic team. So that's kind of how I wrap that up. We go as far as Pickett goes, but the defense is going to be good for sure. But it's going to make a big difference if Pickett can pick defenses apart.
That's a synopsis. Did you write it down this weekend? Ready to lay that down?
I mean, I think that's going to be a narrative you hear a lot this year. Pickett is picking defenses apart, or Pickett to Pickens, 8 to 18, 8 to 88. You're going to get a lot of that throughout the season for sure.
Gotcha.
I appreciate alliteration. I'm not against that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we got to keep it moving quick because we're almost out of time, and I don't have much to say on the Panthers right now. I'm not going to speak on them currently.
Yeah,
I will say that right now, I don't have Bryce-specific concerns. I think he's done the best he can do with what he has available.
Like he's been running for his life.
They have not blocked worth a fuck for him.
Fucking him up.
And I don't know if that's the only problem or if weapons are also going to be an issue, but he stands almost no chance if they're not blocking better than they are right now. I believe there's one key starter that is supposed to be back for the season, for the regular season, that hasn't played it all yet. But their problems seem a lot bigger than one lineman coming in and fixing it. So I am not very excited. It's been not a fun first 2 weeks of preseason. So I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't want to put on record my real thoughts right now because I'm in a bad spot to say them.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the team clearly, but it's not looking good right now. And we don't have next year's first pick. So we go out here and show that we're the worst team in the league this year. We'll have no first round picks. So I'm not going down that dark alley. It's not pretty right now in Carolina.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, look, we thought the Seahawks were going to be a terrible team last year. They turned things around. So
this is true.
Maybe there's hope somewhere.
Yeah, if you can't block for your quarterback, no matter if he's 7 feet tall, 5'4", it doesn't matter. And they're not doing that. So
yeah, it's got to start somewhere.
It ain't good, but we'll see what happens. Anything else you want to mention?
No, that's it for the squads, man. So I'm ready for the season to start, man. A couple more weeks, and we're going to get to it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Excited. I mean, I haven't watched – I've seen some of the other, like, some other quarterbacks out there that look decent. I know Jordan Love's been getting a lot of time. He looks like he's a decent player, but I don't believe in Jordan Love, though. I think we've seen enough from him, like in real games, to know like he's just average. But maybe we need a larger sample size.
He looked good towards the end of the year last year. He was looking actually really good.
Or maybe he just need more snaps. I mean,
he hasn't played much.
Yeah, the quarterback position is. I mean, unless you're Patrick Mahomes, you're not just taking the league by storm normally, or Justin Herbert. It normally takes some time for those things to happen. Oh, maybe, but I'm not necessarily a believer in what I've seen so far. The Colts making Anthony Richardson the starting quarterback, I think, is a mistake.
They don't have anybody else.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of get it just because of that. I mean, I think it would be better if he had somebody to sit behind right now, but I think Sam Ellinger was their top.
I don't know if they signed a veteran or not. I can't remember.
I don't believe
they did, but. Yeah, I guess you don't have much to choose from.
Put him in the fire and hope
I think he's going to make some fantastic plays throughout the season.
He is.
But then when you look at the overall stat line, especially week to week, you're like, yeah, this is hella inconsistent.
Yeah.
And that's just what you're going to get with him.
I think so too.
Other than that, from a quarterback perspective,
I don't know the kid's name, but whoever the backup is for Jacksonville keeps putting up. Play. He's had multiple crazy plays where he's putting up scrambling. He looks good.
To me,
I don't know who he's doing it against. It could be third and fourth stringers, but he looks good in the clips.
To me, that kind of stuff means something. Like the first time you step on the field and you making plays like that, like it might not mean that you're a good player, but it means you got something. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some guts or something within this motherfucker that can't be like measured. Yeah. And like people like that can gamer type shit. Like it means something like the first time when you step on the field, you making plays and they're like, I don't know, or at least throughout the course of the season or something like that. And so I noticed that play that he made. I'm like, yo, you better keep your eyes on that, on a dude like that. You know,
that's the thing you want to see in the preseason though. You want to see who going to pop off the field a little bit, like what you going to do in these situations.
Yeah, because if you're better than. If these are second and third string guys, you're gonna notice the guys who are supposed to be starters.
Right.
You know, those guys pop off.
Or should be on the field when the regular season starts.
Right. They're gonna pop off the film because the competition level is so much lower. So
we gotta be real quick, really close on time. But I did just make me think. I haven't seen him. Have you seen Trey Lance is getting killed right now? Have y'all seen any of that stuff?
Talking about getting traded and shit, right?
Yeah, I mean,
what are your thoughts on that? I'm not even trying to be funny like right now.
He's curious. Not. It's just throwing the ball on time.
I watched Acho pick that man up hard.
Yeah, you got to throw the ball with time, and I mean, it's a lot of what Cam Newton ish kind of, but I think Cam Newton was played a little bit better with time, but he wasn't a great player in that aspect of his game. But the thing Cam had for him is that Cam was just an elite athlete.
Yeah.
So Trey Lance is not that. He can run the ball a little bit, but he's not. He's not. I mean, he's never shown that in the NFL to be,
I haven't seen him play much.
He can run, but he ain't that kind of run. He's more of a straight line runner, not like I make somebody miss and I'm going down the field.
He's real big on Lance, though. He's real big on him.
I saw the potential in him. I mean, he was, but again, he skipped out on his senior season of football. Then he set his rookie. You just don't get a lot better.
I was about to say, going back to your
playing
line,
football.
You don't get better at playing football, not playing football.
Yeah, you can't get better at something that you're not doing. So I think that probably really impacted his development, especially missing out on that last year of college football.
Well, I was cheering against the most of his career because of how hype you were about him. But when I watched that,
I don't ever remember being a super fan.
You were crazy. I think you were crazy hype on him, but whatever. I've been cheering against him because of how hype you were. But when I watched Emmanuel Odshow do like breaking down film, and he was talking about like he couldn't read defense, like he can't. He was almost mean. He was almost mean about how bad he broke down this dude's film. I felt bad for him at that point.
Well, I mean, especially for an offense that is really quarterback friendly. That offense is made for completions to happen. They get you out on the boot. They get pressure out your face. You know what I'm saying? They make it one or two reads. It's not a complex offense where you're going through read 1 through 4 and then coming back to 2. It's nothing like that. They're splitting the field in half. Again, getting the quarterback out on the move and stuff like that. So it's made for quarterbacks to shine in.
Yeah.
And if you can't do it, then, but I mean, it's made for an accurate quarterback as well, too. You got to be accurate. You got to be on time with the ball. And if you can't do those things, you can't run an offense like that.
No doubt. Well, we got one more week of preseason. I'm sure we'll talk a lot of football next week or the week after that as we really get close to the season and predictions, that kind of thing we'll do, of course. But we are out of time today. We appreciate you listening. If you're on YouTube, we'll be back next week. If you're on audio, we got some samples coming for you.
Chill.